This video is going to cover vertical square meters. Specifically, plaster is the example we're going to do here, but this tool is very versatile and would work perfectly for things like paint, tile, splashbacks, retaining walls. Even brickwork can be done this way. There's actually quite a number of things this tool is really good for. I'm going to open the plasterer category and I'm going to edit this top line. And I'm just going to put an arbitrary figure in for the square meter cost of the supply and fit plaster to the walls and hit this take off button. As mentioned previously, the units I put on that line dictate what tools I get. So this is a square meter takeoff. And for plaster, you can absolutely do it off this top view. And in fact, this tool, one thing it's really handy for is when your plans are a bit limited and you only have top view plans, you can actually get quite a lot of information out of these. And the tool I'm specifically talking about is this line tool here. So what it's going to do as soon as I click it is say, great, how high is this line? And I've had a quick look at the elevations. I know the ceiling height. So I'm going to say plaster is floor to ceiling, click one end, click the other, and it draws a line. So what it's done here is go and measure the line and then just multiply it by the height I gave it to give us this square meterage. You can do as many of these as you want. And one thing you'll find pretty quickly is that these labels can tend to get over the top of each other. So if you're going to do a lot of these, and plaster is one that this definitely occurs for, I tend to turn these labels on and off as I need them. And that's done just by this little kind of tag looking button up here. And for plaster specifically, I very much wrap room by room. And the reason I do this is that it almost unintentionally double sides the walls where it needs to. And it's also a really good way of excluding rooms like the bathroom where it's going to have a wetboard. So you go through, grab each room, and it will work out almost unintentionally, as mentioned, where it's going to be double sided. Now, another thing is you might be able to hear my mouse double clicking. And what I'm doing here is, because this tool is just a single line, when I get to the corner, it basically stops. So if I wanted to keep going, so let's say I drag it up and I get to this corner, what I'm doing here is going stop and start, and stop, start, stop, start, which very quickly just becomes double click, double click. And then when I do actually want to finish it, just a single one to say stop, and voila. It's a really powerful little tool, as mentioned, and very quick and easy to get a great number of internal measurements done, especially. One thing to mention, and we've mentioned it in previous videos, is if you do want to undo lines that you've been doing, this undo up here is the easiest. And if you want to wipe off all the drawings, again, you can use this trash can and this will wipe the whole slate clean. I'm going to hit accept and save. It'll put the measurement back in and multiply it by the rate. And that's my vertical square meters.